Think about your website. How many steps does it take for an ideal client to set a time to talk with you? If it's more than 3, you're probably losing prospective clients. And if you're making any of these tiny but critical website mistakes, you're making it harder than it needs to be to book your dream clients. Today, I'm sharing simple, no cost tweaks that you can make right now to remove friction, streamline your website, and make it effortless for people to say, yes, I want to work with you. Welcome to the Establish Yourself podcast, your guide to elevating your brand, offers, and systems as a coach, consultant, or service provider. I'm Annie Franceschi of Greatest Story Creative. I'm a brand strategist, author, former Disney storyteller, and forever Muppet fan. If you're ready for next level success, we'll get clear on your brand, package your process, and streamline your systems so you can land quality clients, boost profit, and make time for big dreams in your business and beyond. If you're ready for less confusion and more magic, it's time to establish yourself. Coaches and consultants tend to obsess over the perfect website messaging, fancy branding, and complex service pages. I find that most are missing out on prospective clients simply because their website is making it way too hard to book a call. I've seen this over and over again, including in my own early business mistakes. When I was getting started, I assumed a contact form was enough. But potential clients don't want to send an email and wait. They want to take action while they're interested. That's why today's episode is all about making your website work harder for you with easy tweaks that create more conversations without adding a single extra dollar to your marketing budget. The biggest question we should be asking about our website is, how easy is it for people to talk to us? Coaching and consulting services, we don't sell those like coffee cups. Clients don't just browse and buy and look through product descriptions. They need connection, usually a live conversation before they make a decision. The more steps that they have to take to book that call, the more likely they're going to just abandon the process. Many coaches unintentionally are putting in too much friction, making their potential clients jump through hoops just to talk. Let's fix that today. The first tweak I want you to consider is to reduce the steps you have to take to book a discovery call. If you go to your website right now, how many steps does someone have to take to actually talk to you as a live person? If that is more than 3 steps, I really think we need to cut it down. Think about it this way. Every extra click means lost prospective clients. One of the things that will help a lot with this is to make sure there is a clear call to action in that main navigation bar. We want to make sure there is something up in the top, like a button that tells people what you want them to do. If we don't have that there, if you don't have a button, if you don't have a clear directed action at the top of your website, you are requiring anyone going to your website who wants to work with you to hunt down the way to talk to you, to hunt down how to contact you. We want to make this so simple, so clear. So how do we fix it? We're going to add a clear button in the top right corner of your website that says free consultation or free discovery call, not just contact. So that's our first tweak. Reduce the steps to book a call and add a button to the top of your website. The second tweak, use an auto scheduler so clients can book instantly. I see this all the time where I go onto a coach's website and it says book a call, but then there's just a form and I have to fill out this contact form and then I have to wait for them to email me and then we go back and forth over days or weeks trying to pick a time. That's minimum 5 or 6 steps. It may even be up to 10. People will give up. I know I've given up. Have you given up trying to hire somebody like that? When we have all of these steps, we are losing prospective clients. We cannot make them fill out a form and wait days for an email response. That's losing their interest and it's costing you time. So instead, I strongly recommend that you embed a scheduling tool. This could be Acuity, Calendly, or even something like TidyCal directly onto your website. It is really incredibly important to let your ideal clients see your real time availability and book quickly. That's going to reduce their frustration and keep them engaged. Now, a couple things I want to say about this. This is the one change that is not free if you don't already have a scheduling software. It is hugely valuable to have a scheduling tool. It saves me hours upon hours every week having a tool like Acuity Scheduling that lets my clients schedule meetings with me. It's going to save you time, it's going to add professionalism, and it's going to make it way easier for people to hire you, work with you, and meet with you, which are all goals we want to have. Now, if you don't want to invest in a monthly software, I get it. As of recording this episode, there is a tool called TidyCal, Tidycal, that has a lifetime deal right now, and it will allow you to do this. There's also in Gmail, not in business Gmail, at least not in mine yet, in your personal Gmail, if you're still using a personal Gmail, we can have another conversation about that today. But even that will let you set appointment times. It will let you create a booking page for people to do this that you can embed. So, yes, it may cost you a little bit, but what you're going to get out of it, it could probably pay for itself with getting one more client than you haven't been getting in the past. The other thing that I see a lot with an auto scheduler, people will push back and say, Annie, I have a job. Annie, I can't do that. I have too many commitments. I have to be able to check my schedule. And what I say to that is remember that many of these tools, I'll speak for Acuity, which is what I have, they can work both ways in terms of your availability. So you can sync it with your calendar so it can detect if you are booked. So that's one way. The other way it can work is you can go in and tell that tool the only times you are available. So you could go in weekly, set a little date on your calendar on Sundays, for example, and go in and update your availability within the tool. Wouldn't it be amazing to be able to offer an auto scheduling option where people can just hop on and talk to you as soon as possible instead of wasting time, both in their interest and your focus from the work you're doing with clients and the work you're doing to grow your business? So I'm a huge, huge fan of that. If you have to have a manual form, I'd rather you have something there and we're making it easy to find it. But I think you'll see a dramatic difference if you start letting people book time with you. But Annie, what if people book time with me and they're not a good fit? Yes, that's going to happen. But what I'm going to say is that on your page on your website where you talk about this call, you can set expectations for what it is and what it isn't and how long it is. But you can also do those things in your scheduling form. So when someone is using a tool like Calendly or Acuity and they're filling out their name, etc., I would recommend asking just a few questions, and you may want to ask some questions that indirectly talk about price. If that's your concern, if you're worried that you can't take on that many conversations and you only want to talk to people who understand that this is a conversation about working together at a certain price point, you can put that in the form. That's where an auto scheduler is going to help you as well. So you can check this out. I have this on my own. I will put a link in the show notes to how to set a free consult with me. I have a big red button, and yes, you can hop right on my calendar. But you will see when you do that, you have to fill out a couple questions, and that helps me better understand your need and also helps you determine, is this the right time for us to have a free consultation? And if it's the right season to have that conversation. So there are ways of doing that to make sure that you have less calls, but better quality calls. But I would say don't hold yourself back from offering this because you want to pre screen. There are indirect ways of doing it. A third tweak, really simple, but often overlooked. If you offer a discovery call or a coaching session and it is free, say it is free. I can't tell you how many websites I go on that just say book a call, book a consultation. If it's free, say it's free. Because if you're not saying that, I'm assuming I have to pay for it. Book X means I'm going to pay for something, book a spa experience, right? I want you to go on your website after this episode and see if you talk about your call, do you say that it's free or complimentary? You want to make sure that it's very clear what it is and what it isn't. But this is a big change. If you are going to offer it for free, that removes an objection. That makes it easy to talk to you, no strings attached, right? It is free. So talk about that. Make sure you have mentioned that. The fourth tweak is to leverage the footer of your website. The footer is the bottom. So, like the header is at the top with your navigation, and the footer is at the very bottom of your website. So, it's the footer. And this is often overlooked prime real estate that most people waste. This is a place where often you only see like random links, your copyright information, etc. But this is a part of your website that's going to show up no matter what page someone visits. So this is an opportunity to put in a brief bio about what you do, a call to action, a free consultation link. You want to put that in the footer so that whenever someone lands on your website, if maybe they ended up on a blog post or a service page, etc., they're going to get a little bit of your story without having to go to the homepage. This is such low hanging fruit. So tell a little bit of your story, invite people to a free consultation, include that link or that button, and you're going to watch more prospective leads reach out to you. Last but not least is not actually about changing the website at all, but it's about talking about it. I know we've all heard that if you build it, they will come. But it's not really true with a website. A website is sort of building this incredible welcome mat, but you have to invite people over. So I would really encourage you that if you do have a website and you do make these tweaks that we've been talking about today, that you talk about it more, that you link to your website more often, and you link especially to that free consultation page. Make sure there's a link to your website and maybe even your free consult in your email signature, in your LinkedIn profile, in your other bios. What I often see is people build this website and most people don't even know it exists. So I want to encourage you to talk about it more often, to share it more often. I want to show you how all of this works. So we've talked about 5 major tweaks you can make today to your website to get more prospective leads talking to you and working with you. One of my favorite examples of how this worked is my client, Christine. Christine is a travel advisor, and we've worked together to write her brand voice guide. And she came back about a year or two later and wanted my help to polish her website and specifically upgrade the message on the website. So I do VIP days where I actually roll up sleeves and together we fix what's wrong with your website. When I went through Christine's site, I quickly realized that she wasn't just struggling with how to tell a story. She was actually missing all the elements we just talked about. She did not have a clear call to action button in the top right. She didn't offer the free consultation. She made her visitors hunt for that contact form, and there was no way to auto schedule with her. And her footer didn't have a call to action, it didn't have the whole story. So in our VIP day, we created this process where people could set time to talk with her. We made sure she had the clear button in the top right. We made sure people could schedule it and she didn't have just a contact form. We made sure her footer had information about what she did and a call to action. We made these tweaks, and within 2 weeks, I got an email from her that said, Annie, I have 3 ideal clients scheduled for consults on Thursday. Small, strategic changes make a huge difference. When we make it easy to work with us, the magic happens and people do. A website that books consults like this is only effective if your marketing and your messaging are clear. If you are struggling to talk about who your ideal client is, what problem you solve, how to structure your services effectively, then your website isn't going to convert the way you want it to. The work I did with Christine is really similar to the VIP experience I do called Package Your Process with the Expert. This is where I help coaches and consultants like you jump into your website and fix these things. Get clear on the message that should be there and make sure you have a streamlined process for how people can work with you. That's the difference maker. It's not just about having a pretty website. A website really should drive connection. A website really should make action easier. So if you're trying to up-level your website and you're not sure what you need to change about your messaging and how you organize it and how you're laying out your discovery call, I do help clients do that in VIP day settings. So if you want my eyes on your business and website and want to know what is the best next step, you can always set a free consultation with me. I'll put the link in the show notes, but guess where you can set one for yourself? That's right. If you go to my website, you will see me following these best practices. So if you go to greateststorycreative.com now and you go look in the top right-hand corner, there's that free consult button. And yes, you can set a time to talk with me and we will figure out what is that next step you should take if you need to make these changes to your website. So wrapping things up, the easier you make it to book a call with you, the more leads and conversations you'll get. Making small tweaks like adding that prominent button, including an auto scheduler, having clear messaging, they're going to make huge differences. If you stop making people jump through hoops and meet them where they are, they're going to talk to you. And that's what we want. I challenge you to go to your website right now and see, does it pass the 3-step test? Let me know on LinkedIn. I'd love to hear how it's going and the tiny website tweaks you're going to make to change your business. Hey, do you like surprises? Here comes the show's credits, but just like a Marvel movie, stay to the end so you don't miss something fun I put in just for you. Thanks for tuning in to the Establish Yourself podcast. I'm Annie Franceschi, and I want to hear from you. Follow me on LinkedIn. Share your favorite takeaway from today's episode as a comment on my latest post. Mention your favorite Muppet in your message so I know you're a fan of the show. And for expert branding help, a free consultation, and more resources, visit greateststorycreative.com/podcast. Now, here it is, your moment of magic. So speaking of making conversations easier, when I worked in the film industry in Los Angeles, I almost hung up on Oprah. Yes, the Oprah. I was the second assistant to the president of Lionsgate Films. Lionsgate makes the Hunger Games and the Tyler Perry movies, and it was my job to screen phone calls, which means random people would call into Lionsgate and want to talk to Joe, and it was my job to make sure he wasn't bothered by them. So one day I get a phone call, and the person on the other line says, "Hey, is Joe there?" Oh, I'm so sorry. He's in a meeting right now. Oh, that's okay. Just tell him Oprah called. What? What? Wait, are you still there? Yeah, I'm still there. Okay, great. Let me get him. Whew. I, to this day, can't believe that Oprah called that way. Because you got to understand, this is a person with 3 assistants. She knows that in Hollywood, you call people and you say, "Hey, it's Oprah for Joe." You don't just go, "Hey, is Joe there?" But I guess she's Oprah and she can do whatever, right? But anytime you're going to do a face palm for yourself, just remember, I almost hung up on Oprah. So you can do anything.